Okay. By the way, I am recording this, and it will only be on audio, so the video part I won't publish. But there's a lot of people that time zones don't work out at this time, so I want to be able to get it to them. And many years ago, I was somebody had said you should start something on YouTube so that you can reach out to people. But YouTube doesn't allow me to interact with people like I'm actually looking at Scott and I'm looking at Lane and the other folks that are online. And the other day I was in meditation, and I have such a yearning to connect to people. And technology today allows us to do exactly what we're doing right now. Scott's lounging in the backyard with, looks like he's got a halo over his head with the sun behind him. and it's so beautiful. And I want to encourage those of you that choose not to be on video. It's okay. I understand some of you are probably still in bed. And to participate, because there's some magic in being able to see each other. And so the goal here was to simply allow, I'm finishing up a book right now called Radical Mindfulness. And that's where I'm going to be teaching from that. So you're going to be hearing what I'm teaching out of the book before the book comes out. And I want to, it's not just good for you, it's good for me. To connect with people that I don't see especially Elaine, you're in Ireland. So what a blessing to have you on the call today. So I want to start by talking about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? I do a lot of interviews, about right now 3 to 4 interviews a week. And the question I always get is, what is the difference between mindfulness and radical mindfulness? And it's really, really simple, but yet it says easy, does hard. Mindfulness is very simple. Mindfulness is just awareness. I can mindfully eat. I can mindfully walk. I can mindfully sit in a chair with the sun behind me. I can mindfully have a cup of coffee. It's just awareness. It's very simple. But radical mindfulness is the practice of mindfulness. It's the next step. So, and let me give you an example. There are a lot of people that actually say, I meditate every morning. Great. I do yoga every morning. Great. I do this, that. There's different practices for getting into a mindful place. The question I have is, once you're through that process, what are you doing then? So you do 1 hour of meditation or 10 minutes, whatever it is. What is it you're doing after that? If you get on the freeway and you start flipping people off because you're angry that they cut you off, that's not very mindful. So radical mindfulness is the practice of mindfulness, taking it to the next step. And I believe that the success of any individual, be it for business or relationships or health, is based on their ability to stay focused in their practice on a day in and day out basis. Now, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that whatever anyone does is incorrect for them. That's not true. Whatever you do works for you. But I think in looking for the results in our lives, looking for the results in our health, looking for the results in our relationships, looking for the results in our businesses, requires that we are radically mindful. Now, this is also true. Mindfulness does not require spirituality. However, spirituality requires radical mindfulness. Because in order to be in a spiritual alignment with the divine, yourself and others, you must be on a moment-by-moment basis being the ultimate observer of your own thoughts. And in doing so, creating an opportunity to act in the most important place that we can act from, and that's in the now. So I put together 9 practices in my book. And now when I write, this is my 5th book. When I write, I always write from where I'm at. I don't try to make things up. I don't want to be scholarly. I'm not trying to be philosophically correct. I'm saying this is what Daniel does. And if it works for you, wonderful. And if it doesn't work for you, wonderful. It's all good. But over the next 9 weeks, I'm going to go over each one of these practices in our calls. I don't even know if you call these calls, on our videos, on our gatherings. Let's just call it a gathering, on our gatherings. And so we're going to just discuss them. And the goal is that this is interactive. I do enough speaking one way that this is meant to be a community conversation. In a few minutes, I'll open the line. And whatever it is, some of you don't get an opportunity for us to talk this way. If you're having challenges with your relationships or your health, or going fishing, I don't care. Bring it up. I want to know what you're up to. I'm here for you as a servant. And so the first step, so I said there's 9 practices. In the first practice, and by the way, there's a lot of people that have called in. I have you muted right now because in a few minutes I'll unmute you, and hopefully you'll turn on your, it may be because I muted you that some of you, I'm not seeing you on video, but I would hopefully get to see your smiling faces this morning, even if your hair's messed up. I can say that because I have no hair. So anyway, so what's the first practice? Oh, let me go back to why. So mindfulness and radical mindfulness. Radical mindfulness is the practice of mindfulness. Why is it important? Life will happen. Just like the ocean is not the ocean without waves, nor is life without problems. If we do not have a practice to fall back on, then we fall back on what I call negative or stimulants that are illusionary in nature. Alcohol, drugs, stress is a big one. Stress is huge. Hi, Terry. Stress is huge. And so those are negative stimulants for humans, but we fall on them when we don't have a practice. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this call. On the top of that scale of human stimulants is love, community, friendships, appreciation. But we as humans fall, society makes it okay to use the bottom 3. Stress. People talk about stress like it's a badge of honor. I have more stress than you. I almost had a heart attack. Oh, I had a stroke. Oh, I mean, like it's a badge of honor. I mean, it's like, wow. And I came from that world. I came from the world where the more we stressed out and the more we drank, the more powerful we were. Is that sick or what? It's crazy. It's really crazy. But that's the cycle that we are stuck in humans. So the bottom 3 being alcohol, stress, and drugs is lower stimulants for humans, yet very powerful. And then the top ones are going to be love, community, friendships, all that stuff. So I say that because as life happens, we're going to fall on something. And if you don't have a practice, you'll fall for anything. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do over these calls is to chat, it's just have an open conversation about that. In a few minutes, I'll open the lines. So what's the why? Life will happen. And if you have a practice that you practice all day long, then when something happens, then you'll be able to take that deep breath before you act. Take that deep breath before you get into an argument with your loved one. Take that deep breath before you fire that client. Take that deep breath before you make it someone else's problem rather than your own. That is what the practice for. And it reminds me of a quarterback that I used to watch in the early 70s. He was an amazing quarterback. And I'm not going to say which team, because those of you in the U.S. will be going, I don't like that team. So he was an amazing quarterback. He came up with, and you'll probably know who this is if you know anything about sports. He was the one that came up with the Hail Mary. A Hail Mary throw was really basically a throw from who knows where on the field into the end zone, hoping that one of his guys jumps up and grabs it. Well, with this particular quarterback, every time he did that at the end of the game to win a game, he won. He won. One of his guys was either taller, faster, quicker, and would jump up and grab the ball. In an interview, they asked him, how do you do that? How do you do that? How is it that you can do this consistently over and over again? And he said, oh, that's easy. He goes, well, what do you mean it's easy? He goes, it's a practice. I practice all day long, several times a day, and then I see it going in. And when I throw it, and when that moment happens, it's automatic because it's a practice. And this is what I'm talking about today, about making our mindfulness, our radical mindfulness practice, something that we can lean back on when something happens in our life. Now, we're human. So what happens usually when something happens in our life is that we have a knee-jerk reaction and we fall back on the bottom three stimulants somehow. Usually stress. Doesn't have to be alcohol and drugs, but stress is the one that I get concerned about because we go there. And that's why these practices are very important. Hi, Chantalyn. That's why these practices are so important. So number one, what's the number one practice? Continually ask yourself, as soon as you start to feel anything is out of alignment, ask yourself this question: where am I? Where are my thoughts right now? Not where they were, not even the second before. Where are they right now? Are they in the past? Are they in the future? Or are they in the present? And that question alone will begin a process of thought and ideas behind why you are feeling stress in that moment and why you're not manifesting whatever the desires are in your heart. Because truly, the only place we have power is in the present moment. That's it. There is no other way, no other place. So when we get caught up in the past or we get caught up in the future, we're absolutely unable to make a decision that will impact our lives, except a negative one, right? So where am I right now? Am I in the future? Can't do anything about that, right? Am I in the past? Surely can't do anything about that. Or I am in the now. And I'll give you an example. I coach a lot of clients, and I have every once in a while today is June 3rd. They've already paid the lease for their house or their business because it's June 3rd. And they're already stressing about being able to pay the rent next month. And I laugh and I go, wait a minute, you got 20 days. You got 25 days. You have 30 days. Why are you so stressed out? Well, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay my lease next month. Now think about that. So what they're doing in the moment is creating the reality of what's going to happen 20 days later. Instead of saying, okay, where are my thoughts? Oh, they're in the future. The truth is, if you stay focused and radically mindful in the moment, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, calling a client, going to work, whatever it is, will actually create a different result in 20 days. But if you do not do that, then you are sure to get there. So here's what I tell them. Well, today's only the 3rd, and you got a lot of time, so here's what I'll make you a deal. Let's focus on what we can do today in this moment. And when we get to next month and you can't pay the rent, I'll cry with you. So it's a very simple process here, again, that I want to explain. And so today's practice, radically mindfully thinking, is where am I? Where am I? Some of you may be on this call, but you're playing with your phone. Some of you may be on this call and you're thinking about, I got to make breakfast. Some of you may be on this call and you're thinking about what's next, Scott. So be present, be in the moment. All right. So that was practice number one. I defined why. I defined mindfulness and radical mindfulness. And now what I want to do, because this is not about me, I told you I only want to talk for 10, 15 minutes. And I want to open the lines for whatever it is that you feel needs to come up today. There is no right or wrong answer. And there's no right or wrong topic. If it's something that we shouldn't be talking about, I'll say, let's talk offline. Maybe it's something that we need to talk offline. I don't know. So I'm going to unmute everyone. Let's see how this goes, because this is my first time. Because we have quite a few people on the call now. And if you're able to put on your video, please do and say hello. So give me a second here. All right. So everybody's unmuted. It may not work, but I'm going to go. Let's see here. Hi, Chantalyn. Good morning.
It's working.
It's working. All right. Hey, is that Adam?
That is.
Hey, Adam made it. All right. Glad you made it. Adam King is on the phone, and Adam is the music behind the product. Hey, there he is, Rubio, Angel. So let's do this. Let's do video first. Let's do video first. Introduce yourself. I'll call your name out. Tell us where you're from. because we have some really interesting places represented here this morning. So Scott, why don't you introduce yourself, what you do, and where you're at physically, not where you think you are.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, Terry, hello. Hey, Julie.
Hey, good morning.
Can you hear me
Scott,
okay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Scott.
My name is Scott Ware, and I'm the publisher and editor of Radiance Magazine, which is a wellness magazine in Southern California.
Wow.
And I'm in La Habra, California, which is near Fullerton, near Anaheim, near Disneyland, if you will, for those in Ireland.
Oh.
Elaine from Ireland won't know where that's at. Disneyland, she'll understand.
Right.
Oh, yes.
All right. So, Elaine, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. My name is Elaine McGuinness. I actually do a few different things. I'm a nurse. I love Disneyland, by the way. I've been to America a few times. I am interested in health and wellness big time. So I'm on what you call a superfood, and it's just new to Ireland. It's amazing. And there's a few other things as well. But I'm into spirituality, and we have a community Zoom call that we have every Sunday night, and we connect and meditate, and it's very powerful. So it's all over Europe. There could be 500 people on a call. So I think this idea of connecting and getting together, the group energy can create massive, massive change for whatever we intend, whether it's peace or, healing relationships, health, wealth, and, healing relationships.
Thank
I could
you,
go
Elaine.
on and on.
Welcome.
But I think this is a great idea.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah.
Chantelan.
Oh my God.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Chantelyn Wynn, and I am a regenerative lifestyle coach. And I met Daniel because I'm part of the HCC, and I'm in Santa Monica. And I'm excited to connect with all of you. I'm also interested in health and wellness. I created my handle to be the curator of all things great. And I believe in relationship as a spiritual path. So that's
HCC is Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we forget. we know these acronyms, but people in other countries.
Sorry.
That's okay. This is how we get to learn how to have global conversation. Because we get into our worlds and we forget that there's people outside of that. What's an HCC? Is that a disease?
It's a bit early where I'm from.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Chanteline. Angel.
Hi, good morning. So this is Angel Ribo from wonderful Plano, Texas. I am a CEO consultant. The CEOs hire me to bridge the gap globally for expansion and exposure. I am an international speaker, host with Mindalia TV, and I am the founder of Wisdom for Kids, in which we help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using their local resources. And I'm thrilled to be here to learn so much from Daniel's wisdom, and I'm thrilled to be with so many amazing people in the call. Thank you very much for.
Yeah, Angel's also starting tomorrow, believe it or not, starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. I keep seeing 8 o'clock, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're launching my first Spanish-speaking TV show that will actually air live in Spain and South America. And Angel will be joining me on that show. So we're very excited about that. And you'll see more about it as we go along, because it's kind of like this Zoom call. We're trying to figure it out. But we will. And it's exciting for me to be taking the message of the book again globally into those markets where I'm just excited about that. So thank you, Angel. Hey, Terry. No te oigo.
Hey, Daniel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazingly well. Thank you for asking. I'm Terry Wilderman, and I'm in Newport, Rhode Island. Beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. Just got back from Ireland on Sunday. It was absolutely amazing, Elaine. I love it. And
lovely.
I'm an accelerator with intuitive leadership, and I work with entrepreneurs and business leaders to integrate the spiritual side as well as their practical side, so that they are working on all cylinders.
Wow.
So
Right
Angel and I have been working together on Angels in Business, having a great time doing it, and moving forward with that too. So that's a new venture I haven't talked to you about yet, Daniel.
All right, I'm here. Thank you, Terry. Hey, Julie.
Hey guys, quick hello. I'm going to hot yoga, so I have to leave in a minute.
That's because you're hot.
Woo!
Hey, Julie's lost a lot of weight. Julie, how much weight have you lost? She's going to Machu Picchu with me next month.
Yes, I am so excited about going to Peru with you, Daniel. I can't even explain it. And my son, Doug, is also very excited. I've lost 18 pounds. I'm now a weight loss and health and wellness coach, but I'm also a home remodeling contractor here in Maryland, and I'm absolutely loving my work. Daniel's been an abundance coach for me for a long time. How long have we known each other? Like 6 years, Daniel?
Maybe longer, yeah.
Yeah, this is a long time, but I love you to death, and so I'm looking forward to the fact that you're having these calls.
Every Sunday. Yep, I'm going to even do them when we're in Peru. You can be in it. Going like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Great. And also, Daniel, practicando habla mucho español, so I'm looking forward to listening to your
Qué bueno. Yo también estoy practicando. All right. Thank you, sweetie.
Bye, guys.
Where are you today, darling? Anna? Oh,
She's muted.
No, yeah, but she knows that.
Hi.
No.
Sorry,
Hi.
I muted myself so I wouldn't have any background noise.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Well, I know a lot of you actually here. Scott and we met at the expo in Long Beach.
Oh.
We
Hi.
were hi.
Together. All four of us were
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
So I'm Anna Pereira. I'm physically here in New Jersey today. I was actually supposed to go back to Portugal tonight, but I just extended my stay here. Hugo's going to be going back tonight, though. My husband. So, and Angel had the pleasure of being on Angel's show this week, which is so exciting. Sherry and myself. And I'm the founder of thewellnessuniverse.com. For those of you that don't know, it's amazing platform, amazing community of people making big change in the world. We're nearly 3,000 members strong and a global community. And soon going to be adding a coaching platform so people could do their coaching, business in the box, basically. And it's really exciting. We just been appointed the coordinator for a wellness area within the most elite and prestigious soccer expo, very high-end, top of the pyramid expo conference. So we're organizing the wellness area with speakers and booths for wellness practitioners to really impact the world of soccer and sports in general. Oh, we got some feedback there. I think it's Scott.
No, Scott's not moving.
No, but see, his box is lit up. When the box is lit up, that's where the noise is coming from.
Oh,
Scott,
I always thought if you were lit up, you drank too much wine.
Well, that too, boss. And I call Daniel boss because he is the boss. That's my nickname for you all the time. So, and I just absolutely adore you. Thank you for hosting this. It just popped up on my Facebook, so just thought I'd join, say hello to everybody.
Thank you for calling in. So good to see you.
You too.
Hi.
Let's see here. I think I got everybody on video. So let's start with the non-video. Adam.
What is happening?
What is happening?
If I did video, I wouldn't make it. Our internet up here at the cabin is so slow. I can't
Tell me
even
where you're
believe
at,
I'm
because you're like
online.
out there with Grizzly Adams somewhere.
I am in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, on the beach. We have a cabin on the lake, and I'm sitting here with internet for the first time in 65 years since this place has been built. So it's been pretty interesting. But yeah, no, you guys all already know who I am. I work with Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing the Little Red Recorder. My credentials are irrelevant, I think, at this point, because I'm just here to have fun, excited about what you got going, and it's really cool to see everybody. And I promise I will try to do video, especially if we do one of these Sundays where I'm back south.
Just get a squirrel to run up your top of the tree. I mean, Adam and I were having a conversation the other day. He says, "Oh, look, 2 eagles just landed in front of me." What? 2 bald eagles?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
We took
Good
pictures
stuff.
too.
So Adam is the magic music composer. He scores movies. He does a lot of things, but he's the magic behind the music, behind the Little Red Recorder that we have out there. So if you haven't heard of the Little Red Recorder, go to thelittleredrecorder.com and you'll see basically in a nutshell, Adam called me one day and said, "Hey, Daniel, you want to carry a recorder into the jungle?" And my first response was no, because I was thinking, what would I need to stay focused on what can kill me in the jungle, not a recorder. And so we finally decided, yeah, let's do this. I recorded my experience on audio, and then he went into studio and did his magic and put orchestra symphony behind it, and it is amazing. So check it out. We already have Costa Rica's about to go up, and of course, those of you that are going to be with me in Peru, some of you on this call, I'll be recording Peru also, and then Bali and Tibet this year. So good stuff. Thank you, Adam. All right. Let's see here. I've got some other folks. I'm going to just call your name out. If you want to introduce yourself, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. So Melissa? Melissa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello.
I'm calling from the Yucatan.
Oh, nice.
I am retired and I'm learning Spanish here, and I'm practicing radical mindfulness.
Oh, great. Wonderful. ¿Hablas en español?
Poco a poco.
Ah, bienvenidos.
Gracias.
You bet. All right. Thank you, sweetie. Jeannie or Janine.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Janine. Is this the Janine I think it is?
Yes, Adam.
Yeah, from France, Adam.
Janine.
From France, yes, right. From Paris. So it's
wonderful.
5:30 p.m. here, so it's not good morning. But
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Yeah, right. So I'm kind of the black sheep here because I feel like I'm already in a group that is already formed, and but you know, I'm just
Hi.
Hi. I'm just trying to find something for me. I'm completely lost right now. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who I am, and so I'm trying to find something that would help me. And I must say that the Little Red Recorder was a great project. Yeah, really. You Daniel and Adam, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you're, by the way, Janine, you are you're with family. You're not the black sheep. This is my first time here. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, no one's above anybody else. You've been an integral support system for us when we launched this. Your feedback has been integral, and it's been wonderful talking to you. And I'm glad to have you on the journey. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for being here. So no black sheep on this call. Everyone's a winner.
That's right.
Everyone. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for being, and thank you for your openness and your willingness to share. In a few minutes, I'll open the lines for whatever everyone else wants to discuss. But I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge it's on the call. Thank you, sweetie. Patricia.
Okay, bye.
Hi, I'm Patricia. I'm a psychologist from Palm Desert, California.
Well,
this is my first time.
Yeah, well, this is the first call. Everybody's first time, even mine.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to use Zoom.
Yeah, I barely made it, so.
I love it. All right. Rosalind and Rosalie? No? Okay, and then I have My Mac 2015. I don't know who that is. Do you want to introduce yourself? Okay, they don't have to. All right, so welcome, and wow, I mean, we really got. I love it. This was my vision that, and I do have a vision that, Elaine, as you were saying about your other group, that will have 400 or 500 people on the call. I don't know if most of you may or may not know this, but this kind of is something that drives me from something I used to do early on as a young man. I was a licensed Baptist minister. And so as a licensed Baptist minister at the time, which at 17, I didn't even know what I was doing, but it's what I was doing. I was already speaking at the congregations of 2,000 people every Sunday. And it was something that really moved me, and it touched my heart. Now, that's not where my belief is today, but I still feel that there's such a need on a global basis for us to connect. And so many wonderful, beautiful things that are happening, and leaders that are on this call that are doing great things. And there is no right way or wrong way to do connection. And I really believe that the biggest loss in our culture across the world is the sense of community. It's that sense of connection. And when we don't have that sense of community, we get caught up in those bottom three stimulants I talked about, drugs, alcohol, and stress, that isolate us from people. And when we isolate from people, we get into trouble as human beings. So I'm going to, we're halfway through the call now, and I promised that I would take questions. If you or a comment, or if you please just I think what I'm going to try to do is mute everyone, and then you unmute yourself if you want to speak. That way we're not hearing the background noise. So I'm going to do that right now. If I learn how to do it. Oh, here we go. Mute. All right. So I'm going to, I know you're looking at me, Anna, going, you got this, Dan. You might have to help me out, sister. You might have to help me out. So I'm going to mute everybody. And how do I know if they have a question, Anna? How can I do that? They don't raise their hand.
No, I think that people can unmute themselves.
Okay.
So they'll unmute themselves one by one.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to put everyone on mute, and please unmute yourself if you have a comment, a question, anything you want to say, and then I'll wrap it up after that with a short meditation. All right. So everybody's muted. So if you want to say something, just unmute yourself. Not everybody at one time.
Hi, Daniel.
Yes, Angel.
Yeah, when you were explaining the first step to radical mindfulness, you were saying, like, to check where we are now. Mm-hmm. Besides checking where we are now, what happens when you actually start trying to think where you should be? Is that something that initially helps you? Like, where do I want my mind to be now?
Yeah, I don't know if the question is where do I want my mind to be now, as much as where is it that this moment serves me in the greater good of my desires. So what is it in this moment that I could do that would serve that? When we're radically mindful in the moment and we absolutely stay in that space, we're connected to the divine. The divine doesn't exist on either side of future and past. There is no timeline. So it's only connected for us humans. It's in the moment. When we connect into that spot and think, okay, so in this moment, I need to make more money. The next thought you may have may be, I should call Daniel because he said he wanted to buy my services. But your ego mind is going to say, oh, but I don't want to talk to him. He's going to say no. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Without judgment of your thoughts, act on it. Now, why do we need to act on it? Because the path will appear when you take the next step. If you continue to do that, whether it's making money, relationships, then what we're doing is that we're staying in the moment. We're not allowing those human emotions to take over us. Stress, fear, doubt, and disbelief. Fear, doubt, and disbelief do not exist in the present. They exist in the present moment because we are in the past or the future. When we stay focused in the now and we act from the now, not judging the thought, I should call Daniel, not judging how I feel about it, just picking the phone up and actually dialing. You'll be surprised how quickly things move in your life. And whether it's, like I said, business, relationships, it's amazing. So I was just saying that on an interview the other day, I said, I think I'm retired. They go, retired? I say, retarded. I said, retired. I said, they said, well, why do you feel retired? I said, because I don't feel like I do anything. I'm so at peace with my life. I'm so one with everything around me that it's so easy. That because my life has not been that way, I just wonder, like, am I alive? Am I, pinch myself? Can it be that easy? And it really is, because when you stay radically mindful in the moment, you're not distracted by the fears of yesterday. or the regrets of tomorrow, or whatever may be coming up. You're stuck right here, right now. And so if right now, because we're multifaceted human beings, if right now, because I can paint, I'm a sculptor, I play music, I'm a businessman, I'm a coach, I'm all these things. And that's why we get overwhelmed. Oh, what do I do right now? If right now my heart says, play your guitar, I reach over and I grab my guitar and I play. It's next to me. Why? Because I'm honoring myself in that moment for the artist that I am. But if at the same time I have a thought that says you should call Angel because you guys need to get this business thing going, then that's what I do. That's staying radically mindful in the moment. Not allowing the distractions of fear, doubt, and disbelief to take you down a rabbit hole, because you know what happens then? We get on Facebook. And then when we get off Facebook at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we get to beat ourselves up and go out and stimulate ourselves by things that don't work for us. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, answer your question.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, unmute yourself if you have. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate your question. Anybody else?
I have a question for you, Daniel.
Who was that? Elaine?
It's Anna.
Anna, okay.
Let me ask you, how do you stay radically mindful when you do have a lot of plates spinning, when you do have a lot of things on the agenda that need to be done? Because, look, it's really great to be radically mindful when you're in that moment, but when you know you have to catch a plane in the afternoon and you got to pack beforehand and you have so much like going on, how do you stay radically mindful with all of that going on?
Well, and my life is crazy, right? And like all of ours. And she says she needs to pack. She'll probably get off the call and go pack. No, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is that life is life. It's like when the first time I ever worked with the monks in Nepal, and I was newly out of going to New York 2 or 3 times a month and stressed out of my mind. And I'm sitting in this monastery and I said, how do I slow down? And the monk says, Daniel, just breathe. I said, shut up. He said, what? I said, what do you mean breathe? I said, no, really, how do I slow down? He said, Daniel, breathe. I said, you know what, if you say that one more time? I said, let me take you out of here and drop you in Manhattan and you will freak out. You will grow hair. It is crazy. And it really didn't hit me till much, much longer or down the road that this whole idea of being radically mindful is that, yes, all those things exist simultaneously. Packing, checking in, all this stuff. But only one of those can be acted upon in that moment. That's what I'm talking about. If we acted on the thing that came to us in that moment, that would be taken care of. That's one less plate. But what we do is that we try to take it all in, and then before we know it, the only way we know how to react or to respond is through stress. And then we do get it done, but we get to the airport and we just, all right, what kind of wine would you like? No, give me a bottle. Thank you very much, right? So the goal here is that I have a lot of plates, and I'm constantly going, okay, I got to get, but I just go, okay, but what is, if I slow myself down and I think to myself, I haven't called Angel, or I haven't called Anna, or I haven't called Chantalyn, then that's what I do. If that's what's coming up, that's one less plate I have to deal with. And that's the way I run my day. As soon as that comes up, I deal with it so that plate's gone. And then eventually, now here's the other thing that I learned in big business. You got to give yourself a little bit of leeway to not get everything done. You just got to move it to tomorrow, right? Some things now, I don't know about getting on a plane, but everything else might be moved to tomorrow. When I say I feel like I'm retired, it's because those things used to drive me nuts, Anna. Drive me nuts. Like stress monster. And all that really did was it created havoc with my relationships around me. I didn't treat my son well. I didn't treat myself well. And that just perpetuated the problem I had already. And that was I had no control whatsoever of my life. Not that we have any control. The illusion of control. But today, again, I just think, what do I need to be doing in this moment? Whatever comes up, that's what I do. I recognize that I've got a big, and I just don't get myself stirred up about it, and everything works out. I remember hearing Wayne Dyer talk about going to the airport and how everyone was stressed out, and blah, blah, blah. And that, they were afraid they were going to miss the plane. He says, I never miss a plane. He goes, and if I did, it'd be all right. And just because he was in that space, he never did. Because he didn't allow whatever was going on around him. And when I practice this the most, folks, because I'm going to be honest with you, the one place that I can lose my cookies in a heartbeat is in traffic. Before I know it, I'm going, check it out, Daniel. I don't think you should have flown that bird. I'm human. I'm just telling you, I'm human. So I have to practice just going, they don't have it out for me. I know I feel that way, but it's not. So practicing radical mindfulness is about getting in that space and then listening and then acting immediately. Not over, because what happens is we overthink it. Oh, but this is more important, or that's more important. And then we get to the end of the day and nothing got done. So that's the way I deal with that. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah. Anybody else? Anything. Could be about keto. I love keto.
Can I just say, my understanding of being in the moment is actually, and mindfulness, radical mindfulness. It's a term I haven't heard before, but I'm actually thinking it's like becoming a witness to your thoughts.
Yes.
You become the observer of what you're thinking. So in that way, you're removing yourself from being identified with your thoughts. And over time, it actually is a practice that becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And in the process, you can actually change your wiring in your brain.
Yes.
And also the breathing. I have heard of the breathing before. I've done some courses with HeartMath, and they recommend breathing certain things like emotions like calm, compassion, appreciation through your heart. And they have found that can actually shut down the stress cycle in the amygdala of your brain. It's really powerful, and it activates your higher thinking centers. So the answers that you seek come to you quicker.
Yes.
And the stressful thoughts diminish over time the more you practice these breathing exercises. They're very powerful. You can look up heartmath.com. There's a science behind it.
Yep.
And it makes the body healthier as well, because the blood flow changes in the brain and in the body, and the organs are more nourished. And it's amazing what I've learned from them.
Yeah, the idea of rewiring the neural pathways, neopeptides that are going on, that's, I didn't say that, but that's where I start. That something in me where it used to go to stress goes to peace and tranquility. I still, if you guys watch me on social media, I'm a busy guy. I'm constantly moving, doing stuff, but I don't do it with stress. I don't do it out of control. It's not that Daniel physically changed as much as I rewired my brain the way it fires off. So instead of automatically going to stress, it's going to, the practice is to slow down, not to speed up. Speed up never gets you any more except more stress. It is a practice, which is why I call these practices. That's the quarterback throwing that Hail Mary. When all this hits me at one time, and it does, I get it, it's human. What is my knee-jerk reaction? Create more stress or to slow down and still get the work done? In other words, Wayne Dyer didn't miss a flight because he was cool. Either way, he was cool. I'm going to get there. That's why today I go, am I retired? Because it sure feels that way compared to what I used to do. And I actually have more stuff on my plate now than I did back then in terms of my leadership positions around the world that I serve. And I'm just cool. I'm like, okay, if I show up, I show up. If I don't, I don't. If I have something wise to say, I do. And if I don't, that's cool too. That's different for me. Right? And that's why I can come from a place of going, gosh, I know what Anna's talking about, because it's got to get done. And it will get done. And here's the thing, though. And this is going on down in the other practices, but the things that we have the most fear about not happening never happen because we manage them from stress. So they get done. But the truth is they would happen anyway. So why not have peace and tranquility in the process? That's where my life today is joyful. It's joyful because I'm in that space, not because it's less. Actually, it's busier. When I look at sometimes I sit down and I go, who'd I promise what? And what interview I'm supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm leading a meeting? Oh, today? Oh, no problem. You can ask Anna. She's trying to do business with me. I'm like, well, whatever. Yeah, I get that. Anna's like, oh, hell no, I can't do business with him. But I am very much just in the flow. And I do that to help teach others to do the same. not because I'm airheaded. I get that I got to do, and sometimes I am, but not. It's because when I cut my hair off, I guess my brain went with it. Anyway, Terry, you wanted to say something. Thank you, Elaine.
Well, there we go. Okay, Elaine, I know all about heart math. I'm a heart math coach.
There you go.
So,
yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, I got licensed with that in 2001 after I burned out multiple times. And Daniel, I wanted to validate what you were talking about in the very, very beginning of the program, because I used to be very, 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 very sick. And what I realized was we were in a culture of, you talk about your illnesses, you write about your illnesses, you tell the whole world about your illnesses, talk about, oh, I got a migraine, oh, my body's here, oh, I'm sick here, oh, da-da-da-da. And what it does is it brings you attention, but it's the wrong kind of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started learning about law of attraction, and I got led to heart math, and I got led to being a Reiki master in the 1990s, it was really an eye-opening experience to realize that my intentions, my thoughts, and words were contributing to the illnesses. And I just want to validate for you that when it all shifted, my health is it's the best it's ever been, because I only focus on great health. So I just want to say thank you and to validate what your comments on that one. It's a powerful one.
You know, you ever heard that people say that? This used to irk me. I mean, gosh, I used to just want to slap people. In divine timing. What? What do you mean divine timing? What does that mean? It means you don't have no control. That's what it means. Divine timing. When God wants me to be there, I'll be there. Like hell, if I don't get on that taxi, I ain't making it. But today, I know I'm a little crazy. But today, I get it. I get it. That it will happen when it happens. And I can release myself to that process. That's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Because things do get done. And if you can't get it done, you hire someone else to help you. And you keep staying where you're at. So what we choose to teach, we must become. And I think that was my journey, is that, when I was teaching motivation and success, well, believe it or not, that's where that stress comes in, because that's where we manage it from. But when you start teaching peace and tranquility, you got to be there. Body, mind, and soul. All three have to be in alignment, which is what my journey has been over the last 5 to 7 years and what my book's about. So wonderful. All right. There's someone on the line from 714-446-7868. Do you want to introduce yourself before we end up here? You don't have to. I just saw that you called in. It's all good. You have to unmute yourself. You probably can't do that from the phone. All right. No worries. We're at an hour, believe it or not. We have just about 10 minutes, and I want to stay true to our time. This is something I'm going to do every Sunday from now on. And I want to see the 40-something thousand people that I reach every time I say something globally, to reach out, to come out and find this as a safe place, because there's such many teachers and great teachers that are on this call, and powerful people that can lend some support. And I didn't do this. You don't have to give me your email. Most of you know me, but you have to give me. I just wanted to reach out. And I'm going to tell you how powerful being radically mindful is. So at the same time that I had this thought about doing this, and I put it out there, I really thought that my social media, Instagram and Facebook, would be where I would get the most play, but it wasn't. Where I got the most play was LinkedIn. And as a result of that, a magazine and I are partnering up to do the same thing on LinkedIn, a LinkedIn call through their database, which is to their, I think, 6,000 businesses, to do the same thing. I said, I don't want to charge. I just want to be a source of information. And so we're doing the exact same thing in corporate America to CEOs, CFOs, and COOs to say, Daniel's here to answer any question you have about mindfulness. How does it work in corporate? So you see what happens when you're in the moment and you act, then things start to show up. But had I thought to myself, I ain't got time for that, man. No, I ain't going to be able to do that. I don't even know how to use Zoom. I didn't even have Zoom that day. I didn't even have Zoom. I just said, I better get something. I don't even know how to use it. It's great. So here I am. Here we are. What a beautiful thing to have all these people from all over the world here. And those of you that I can't see that are listening, thank you so very much. So every Sunday, same time, same channel, invite people to show up. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I have a commitment. My business partner, Adam, has shown me how to use technology better. So I'm going to have a device with me that will allow me to continue to do these calls while I'm in Peru. And that'll be fun. I used to do radio shows when I was in Peru inside my hotel room. So I'm in Peru. They go, yeah, right. Now I can show you. Yeah, I am. So anyway, I want to end with a mantra that I wrote many years ago while leading a meditation on Machu Picchu in the Andes. The sun was coming up over the mountains, as it does every time we go, if it's not cloudy. And this particular time, I actually took an image and I wrote a mantra. It's all together, and I'm happy to send this out to you. Ask me for it. It's something I just did, and I just want you to slow your mind down for just listen to these words, and then we'll end with that. And again, thank you for being a manifestation of following my own heart and thoughts and saying just do it, because the people on this call, I admire and respect each one of you for that. And for being here and supporting this, and please tell people to show up next Sunday and let's have fun with this and see what the farthest country that can show up. I guess right now, I don't know which is further, Ireland or France, but we don't want to start a war over it. I'll look it up on the map. Freaking Americans. Where's that? I've never been there. Anyway, all right. So here it is. Oh God, release me of the bondage of self, that I might open my heart. Allow me to express my heart freely and receive all that is good in life. Help me to see that everything I could possibly desire in life is at the fingertips of my awareness. Only when I am living connected from my heart. It is then and only then that I can receive the gift of my inheritance of peace, love, and abundance. All this that is individualized as me, the reality of me. Peace and blessings. I love you all. Have a great day. No stress, Anna.
Thank you, Daniel.
Goodbye.
Bye.